From high in the air, Donald Meter Jr. looks down at an old gold mine.
Now we'll see some further mining activity that scarred the landscape up here just a little bit further.
Meter is a council member for the Fort Yuma Quechan Indian tribe. We're in a small propeller plane turning east into the sunrise. Below, we can see thousands of acres of desert, mountains and canyons, and in the distance, the shimmering Colorado River. For Meter, this region along the California-Arizona border is home, the ancestral land of the Quechan tribe since long before European colonizers arrived. Now, this land is under threat again. For decades, mining companies have been trying to extract gold and other minerals from the mountains. As we pass overhead, Meter points out areas where they've carved deep into the earth.
And you can see for yourself the difference in the landscape and the devastation that it caused, and the lack of reclamation. There's just left a scar on the landscape here.
That devastation is why the Quechan tribe is seeking federal protection for almost 400,000 acres of this land. The tribe is asking President Biden to create a new national monument here, which would block future extraction and could give the tribe some say over how the land is managed.
An open mine pit, to us, is an open wound.
Jordan Joaquin is the president of the Quechan tribe. He says the land here is sacred.
A lot of people see it out there as just rocks and desert, but we truly believe that's our DNA out there. Our ancestors walked and built those trails out there, you know. I always tell a story about picking up a rock. Is that the rock one of my ancestors picked up years ago? And so that is very significant to us.
The Quechan Monument is one of 3 native-led proposals for new national monuments in California right now. There's also the Chuckwalla Monument at the north end of the Imperial Valley, and then the Satitla Monument in the Northern California highlands.
Senate Joint Resolution 16 by Senator Padilla relative to the Chuckwalla National Monument and the Joshua Tree National Monument.
These monument proposals have been gaining a lot of steam. The state legislature is backing all 3 of them. And earlier this week, tribal leaders and state officials from California addressed the Global UN Biodiversity Conference in Colombia.
One of the most important priorities we're driving forward is supporting tribal leadership.
Wade Crowfoot, California's Secretary of Natural Resources, speaking at the conference.
We in our state government disconnected ourselves from that leadership and wisdom for well over a century. And that's why I'm so proud that on behalf of Governor Newsom, we are supporting these tribally led proposals to establish national monuments in our state.
State and federal authorities have already taken some big steps this year to return more control of land to indigenous people in California. In June, Governor Gavin Newsom gave more than 2,000 acres back to the Shasta Indian Nation in Northern California. And just a couple weeks ago, the Biden administration announced plans to create a new marine sanctuary off the Central Coast that would be co-managed by the Northern Chumash tribe. Supporters say the Quechan Monument proposal would add to that, protecting the tribe's religious freedoms and giving them and the federal government the opportunity to work together to manage the region, as the tribe has done for generations. For President Joaquin, the Quechan tribe's priority is still to block future mining. But he says it's also about preserving history, both past and present.
I think that's the most important thing, is to tell our children, you know, there was one time mining companies would come and disturb the land. That is no longer the case. And I think that would be a big victory, not only for our tribe, but for Indian country.
If the land does become California's next national monument, he says those mines will become part of history too. On the Quechan Reservation, Corey Suzuki, KPBS News.